Hi, Mark.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining me today and allowing me this opportunity to interview you about your experience with the sugar-free challenge.
It has changed my life, and I really appreciate the time and attention when I was taking your programs. I noticed when I would eat certain foods that I would get a little bit jittery or agitated. I
Mm,
feel like I had to be like twirling something in my fingers, like in live meetings like this, these meetings. I felt like I was tapping my foot, and it didn't feel like it was necessarily normal. I thought it might have been anxiety. But over time in conversations, I at least suspected it might have had at least partially to do with the foods I was eating. I wanted to try and minimize or eliminate some or all of that. I think it definitely helped me to have more energy. I think when I would eat certain foods before, I eliminated them or reduced them. My energy was lower. I was tired throughout the day. I didn't sleep well. Not saying it's a cure-all, but it definitely, I could tell an impact. I felt more rested, more settled. I was able to get better sleep. I was able to focus more. I gave a training course after I was in the middle, like two-thirds of the way through the course, of your sugar-free challenge, I mean, and I noticed that I felt more clear than I typically do for a longer period of time. We're talking like 3.5 hour classes, with like a 10-minute break, and I was able to focus, have sustained focus, and that was one of the first ahas where it's like, well, this didn't just come naturally. I practiced for this course, but I believe that my diet had helped with my performance. I definitely was more productive. I could tell I got some good feedback from the class. Hopefully that was partially because of my performance, but also because of feeling healthier overall. My mood was more constant, kind of like the feeling of being settled was more constant. So that was one of the biggest things I noticed. Mood wise, the physicality was just more level. I was able to just function in different situations, not just with work. I was able to sleep better. So personally and professionally, I think it definitely helped me with again the focus. Um, Feeling calm. I was less reactive. Um, I also felt that when I would eat healthy food, I didn't have to eat as much. Before I would eat sugary foods and I would eat a good amount, I would keep eating it because I felt like I had an urge or maybe addiction to it. When I ate healthier foods, it was kind of more of like a one and done. Helped me bond with my son, even though he wasn't always thrilled about some of the recipes because he's used to sugary food. He didn't take the sugar-free challenge, but I think he was able to connect with that. um, it made things more intentional on the weekend where I would go and shop and go for good food. I would think for good quality ingredients for recipes for both him and I. So I think there's that aspect of it. It allowed me to kind of parent better for a higher good. At work, I wouldn't be as reactive because I wasn't feeling as jittery because I wasn't hyped up on sugar. So I think I allowed my attention and my reaction, well, set it to a higher standard. I'm a lot more intentional about when I'm looking at going shopping, looking at the ingredients and trying to figure out what I need to buy. If something has more than two or three ingredients, especially if it has sugar near the top or anywhere on there, I'll bypass that and look for just pretty much raw ingredients, whether it's meats or vegetables or whatever, and just be a lot more intentional about how I interact when I go to the food store or when I eat out, avoiding foods that might be heavy in salt or sugar, the sauces, trying to get salads, things like that. So I'm seeing if there's sugar in there. I'm seeing if there, how many carbs are in the listing, because I know that's, obviously a big factor of that. And if there's words that I can't pronounce, and especially if there's too many of them, then I tend to avoid those because I know they were added in or additives like preservatives. You can't put a price on good health and the way I feel when I haven't been eating sugar. Um, we all have a budget for shopping. So I think just being intentional with a list and being strategic with it, that would be something to kind of consider when I'm going shopping or anyone's shopping for quality food. And they want to make sure that they're committed to doing this. I think the question is, are you committed to doing this? And if you are, how are you going to make it affordable and produce results. I think it's about planning it out beforehand, having a meal plan. I know that you've recommended quinoa, so I've avoided things like the rice and the oats. So that was a big help. And I got some quinoa chips that were, and those just pure quinoa, but kind of chopped up and ready to go. So I like those, add those to desserts and stuff like that. So I made some brownies. I made some different. I made a cake. So I've played around with some of the recipes, there and what, and made some different options. And my son has liked some of them, and not like some of them, but I liked all of them. So they were with healthy ingredients, clean ingredients, which was great. So you have to heal. So giving time and space and having an attention to putting your health first and your family's as well.